3 more dates to come. The next one is going to be on February 28th. And so just a note, remember if you were one of the students who got your scholarship help for the February 2nd release, and you are on track to get it released this next go around, just note that you might get 2 separate releases. And so it may give you anything that you had past due, and then on the 28th, it'll give you the $500 for that. So don't be worried if you see, not your full $1,000 soon and so forth, okay? All right, some updates and reminders. Again, your February reflection is due this upcoming Monday. And so it should have actually opened up at 5 o'clock today at the start of this Leadership Speaker Series. And it's due at 11:59. And so I had it set like that, so when it's 12 o'clock, it's officially February 13th and you are late, and so it will no longer be open. So make sure that you take the time to do it beforehand. We had a lot of students who missed that deadline and sent me emails and were probably angry with the response that I gave them, that a deadline is a deadline, and so make sure that you meet those. I'm trying to make sure that I hold true to this, because the reality is you are 4th year senior students, and if you miss a deadline for work, that could mean you're fired, that could mean a major project is missed for your company, that could cost your company money. And so I want you to get to the mindset that you cannot miss those types of deadlines. I know it may seem like a small thing, but the reality is that small thing costs a lot of you $500. There are way too many scholarship holds for students who miss that particular assignment. These assignments take like 20 minutes, they're not very hard, and the reality is you're getting that $500 for an hour for this Leadership Speaker Series, and then the 20 minutes that you're spending on the assignment. So to me, an hour and 20 minutes a month to earn $500 is not that much. I know you also have your internships or your experiential learning that you're also partaking in, but recognize that that is actually going to pay off once you get to life after college, when you're in your career, when you're in graduate school, so on and so forth. And so yeah. If you do have issues related to your attendance, as in like SquareCat didn't work correctly for you, make sure you email me tonight, because I want to be able to get your scholarship in on time, so I have to do scholarship holds to our administrator pretty soon. And so if you do have issues, email me right away. So a reminder, our Leadership Speaker Series for March is going to be on the 8th at 5 o'clock. Again, these deadlines are going to be on the website as well, on Canvas, if you need to go check, but just remember that's the next one. And then for the next assignment, it's going to be the Progress Towards Degree Graduation Check. There's going to be a survey related to that. For a lot of you who are graduating, it's going to be simply going onto it saying, hey, I'm graduating, I've officially checked with my advisor, apply for graduation. It'll take you probably 3 seconds to do. For some of you who may be extending beyond that to the summer, so on and so forth, they may ask you a couple of other guiding questions to ensure that you're still on track and you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's. And I believe that is, another thing is, so FAFSA. Obviously the FAFSA release as of January 1. For those of you who are planning to take summer classes, recognize if you want summer aid, you have to have both this year's FAFSA for the 2017-2018 school year and the 2018-19 school year for next year. So you do need to take next year's, complete next year's FAFSA if you're doing summer courses. Obviously, if you're going to graduate school, you need to do the FAFSA too. And students who aren't necessarily graduating in the summer, obviously that's something you want to continue to complete. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Christy and David.
Good afternoon, everybody. Again, my name is Christy Almeida. I work for Breakthrough Central Texas. I am Associate Director of Programs for our Central and South Austin programs, and I'm also accompanied by David Porter IV, who is my team member, an AmeriCorps member with us, also with Breakthrough. Today, first, I'm going to say thank you so much. I'm going to say thank you many times. For me, I'm really excited to be here. For us, it's really exciting. And we're going to talk a little bit about our work, where we come from, to give you a visual of what it might look like to seek opportunities. So, I am an Idahoan. Anybody in here from Idaho? Oh, sad. But I am from a small farming town, about 300 people, in Idaho and the Oregon-Idaho border. And I was lucky enough to get accepted to the University of Idaho in Moscow. The star on the bottom is my hometown and the capital of, really close to the capital of Idaho. And where I went to school was 5 hours north into the mountains. Very beautiful place. I am a first-generation American, and I'm a first-generation college graduate. My family, I have 5 brothers and a sister, and I was lucky enough to work hard in high school where I received financial aid for 3 of 4 of my years at the University of Idaho. Yes, pretty well. I got the College Assistant Migrant Program Scholarship, which is a little bit like the University Leadership Network, where we went to sessions or we went to tutoring, and then in return, we got scholarship or financial aid. It was really great. And for my family, it was a blessing. Right off the bat, I got highly involved in my university. I started the Students for Barack Obama at the University of Idaho back when he was first running, a long, long time ago. I won't say when. Just kidding. It says right there. I always looked for what can I do, where can I be on campus. One of the amazing things that I started as is a political science major and an international study, also international studies. So that gave me the opportunity to really get involved. I was selected to join our university at the 2009 Model United Nations in New York City. I represented Grenada and Zambia. It was really great. I also was very involved in cultural awareness. I was one of my favorite things was dancing ballet folklorico. For Sabor de la Raza, that's the name of it. When and wherever opportunity, I performed in elementaries to my college. I also studied abroad for 1 year, typically for an international studies major, for those of any of you here. It's a semester abroad, but I took the opportunity to be abroad for 1 year. In Chile, the city, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Valparaiso, but that's the name of the city. It was a lot like San Francisco, a lot of windy roads, very colorful houses, and a view of the ocean from almost every corner of the city. So it was a great time for me. And graduation in 4 years was really special to me, especially knowing that my parents didn't have a lot of money and a lot of support. I became the first woman in my whole family, not just my immediate family, but my family, my cousins, to graduate with a bachelor's degree, and that was very special, thanks to the hard work of my wonderful parents. I forgot to mention that I dropped political science and I picked up foreign languages, so now I have a degree also in Spanish. And what I was looking for was actually leaving the country and working in Nicaragua or somewhere in South America, working for a nonprofit. I soon came to know that in Idaho, at the time, there was also not a lot of opportunity. There was the job economy there was very limited, and unfortunately, was very limited. So what I did was looked at my advisor and I said, I'm willing to go anywhere. So I applied to a job in Boston, Phoenix, Portland, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, St. Louis, and of course here in Austin, Texas, through an opportunity through AmeriCorps. And I received a job offer from, it's called TRIO and Upward Bound, St. Louis, a refugee organization in Boston, and then an AmeriCorps position with Breakthrough Central Texas. And I decided, you know, I'm just gonna pack my key reel and just take off to Texas. And I did. This is where I saw that I could use my Spanish degree. And yes, as you can see, I do not age. But you know, I came here and I'm going to talk a little bit about where I am now with Breakthrough Central Texas, formerly Breakthrough Austin when Byron was with us. But yeah, this is my story. Now I'm going to pass it over to David to share, for him to share a little bit about him.
Hi, so my name is David Porter. I am a true Austinite. How many of y'all are from Austin? Ooh, that's a lot. A lot more than I usually see. I born and raised here. I grew up in education. So my mom has been working with AISD for almost 30 years now, and my dad has been in education in more of the community development way since as long as I can remember. And so that really molded kind of what I decided to do, or what I decided to finish and do. Excuse me. My freshman year of college, I went to the University of Houston. I wanted to get away from everybody, because everybody wanted to go to UT, A&M, Texas State, UTSA, Texas Tech, whatever. I wanted to get away. I went to the University of Houston to major in biomedical engineering because I wanted to create some sort of device to help young people who were also athletes be better at controlling their asthma. I took an education class my first semester, and I realized like I want to work with students. And so that semester I also realized U of H was not for me. So my dad told me, he's like, you know what, if you keep your grades high, you'll be able to transfer. So I transferred back here to UT my sophomore year, and that experience was pretty nerve-wracking because I sent my transfer off and I didn't get notified until like June, and I was looking on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that, and everybody was getting their notification, and it was like freaking me out. So it came to Father's Day when I saw that I got the email, you were at UT, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I went and told my dad immediately, and it was a great experience. So when I got here, I decided to be a youth and community studies major. Because I didn't know if I wanted to teach or if I wanted to just work with students in some type of way. And so I had to really figure out what I wanted to do. And so I ended up having to take a coaching class where I had to observe a coach for a few hours and write a paper about it. And I ended up at a private school, St. Francis School, which is like 20 minutes away from here. And I ended up coaching football, basketball, and track. After the coach was like, you know what, you're doing a great job. Like, let me pay you for being here and the kids are enjoying you. And so I've been doing that for 4 years. That opportunity just like, it was crazy how it happened. And I actually got the chance to coach my little brother for his middle school years. So he's the one with the sports goggles stuff in the middle who looks kind of like me. He's taller than me now. But yeah, that was a great experience. And so I went along kind of realizing that, you know what, teaching may not be the thing that I want to do. And so just based on my coaching. And so I kept on trying to figure out, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I really didn't know. Even in May of my senior year, I had no idea what I was going to do, where I was going to go. I was like panicking, but I was like, you know what, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to think about it, it's not going to happen, let me just finish, let me graduate first. And yeah, it was a tough experience for me because I was trying to figure out what's going on. Everybody's asking me, what are you going to do after you graduate? What are you going to do? Where are you going to work? Are you going to go somewhere? Are you going to graduate school? And I'm like, I have no idea at all. And so it was great going through the experience and just trying to take things a day at a time, because I feel like we get so caught up in looking way into the future that we lose appreciation for what's going on now. And so that taught me that lesson, and eventually I made the decision that I was going to go get my teaching certificate just because it's safe, I'll always be able to find a job. And so I was about to do UTU Teach. I don't know if you all are familiar with that. And I realized that I would have to pay another year's tuition for 4 years, or for 4 classes after I graduated, and I was not about that at all. Not at all. But UTU Teach had a partnership with Breakthrough over the summer, which allows those students to get their teaching experience a little bit before they go into start student teaching. And so I decided that I wasn't going to do UTU Teach, but I wanted to stick along with Breakthrough because I just wanted that summer job. At least that would be something for me to do while I figured out what I was going to do. First week of lesson planning at 5, I knew right then and there teaching was not what I wanted to do, and I'm glad I did not do that certification program because I spent 12 hours on a Saturday lesson planning for a week. And I was like, no, not happening, not doing it. So, you know, the rest of the summer I didn't wing it, but you know, I just stopped trying extremely hard, putting all of my time and effort into it and just like let it come to me. While planning, of course, you have to do that, but I had that opportunity just to kind of, you know, figure things out. Towards the middle of the summer, I got approached by Michael, the executive director of Breakthrough, and he said, you know what, we want to bring you on full-time as an AmeriCorps member for the school year. And I wasn't sure about it, to be totally honest, because of how I was approached, and I didn't know what to expect. And so I sat on it for a good month. No lie, it was almost the end of my term, almost the end of summer when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And that opportunity just came to me. I'm still able to coach, which was one thing that we weren't sure about, but I'm able to do that while also doing what I do with students, which is working with them, making sure their grades are okay and all that. So that's just a brief kind of blur of my life and how I got to where I am today.
So both David and I have very different experiences. He's from Austin, I'm from Idaho, Vandals. And one of the questions we have for you, whether you're graduating in 3 months, is it 3 months, 3.5, in May, or you're graduating soon, what does it mean for you to seek opportunities? And I'm gonna have you all get in groups of six people, your neighbors around, and talk about what does it mean to you to seek opportunities. And we're gonna do 2 minutes. I really hate to interrupt discussions. I hear a lot of buzzing and I talked to a couple of groups, but is anybody willing to share? I haven't seen it.
So for me personally, and sorry because I talk at every meeting, so I know y'all are like, is this girl again? But for me, it's not being afraid to ask questions and not being afraid of rejection. A lot of the opportunities that I have, like shadowing, are just by reaching out. There was a 50-50, like he could have said no, but I got the opportunities just because I went out of my way to ask a question.
Anybody else? This side.
We just talked about looking at like all, oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
Hey, we talked about looking at all angles of your interests and trying not to pigeonhole yourself into one corner of that interest whenever you're looking for different opportunities for yourself.
Thank you all for sharing. I feel, how many of you had the same, kind of the same discussion in your groups? Yeah. I know that some girls are like, I don't know, jobsearch.com. That's okay. Just look for things. Before I go to the next part of the session, I kind of want to share a little bit about Breakthrough. And we're going to be a little, David's going to help me with the sound. Byron, can you help with showing the video? It has a mushy background music, but it's pretty awesome. We're going to try to figure this out.
Breakthrough helps students become first generation. My name is Antonio Vasquez. I am 23 years old. I have been with Breakthrough since 2006. Breakthrough is a huge part of my life. I really love this program. Breakthrough helps students become first generation college graduates. They start early in middle school and go all the way to college graduation. I've participated in almost all of the Breakthrough programs over the last 10 years, starting with the middle school programs, being the first 9th grade program for Breakthrough, college applications, SAT, ACT prep, my junior year, scholarship applications, and even with internships. During the summer, I would go to learn English, science, math, social studies to get ahead for the upcoming school year. Because of Breakthrough, my sister just graduated from Texas A&M University, and we are extremely proud of her, and I won't be far behind. And I know Breakthrough will be there until I graduate college, even after I graduate.
When I first joined Breakthrough, I was going into 7th grade, and I can't even imagine what my life would be without Breakthrough, because everything I've been doing so far was because of Breakthrough. You know, I'm here thanks to Breakthrough. Getting the grades was thanks to Breakthrough. All of these internships that I did, like everything that I am is because of Breakthrough. So they're always there to comfort you and help you find new solutions and, you know, come up with new plans because the plan you originally had didn't work out. That's something that they've always done, not only with me, but with my brother and with my parents.
Breakthrough is an exit for a lot of us who come here without any knowledge of what college is, any knowledge of the process, and living in a society where going to college is a necessity. They actually show us the way step by step.
Part of the whole being first generation, I wanted to go to college obviously because I wanted a future for myself, but also because it's like a way of giving back to my parents. College is better life. We want that they have the best, and the best is go to college, graduated, and then have a better life. When students join Breakthrough, that's not just a student, that's a mom, that's like the families, because that's important too.
Breakthrough is everything. Breakthrough helped us a lot to support our child. And right now, we are very proud about our kid.
What Breakthrough has given, not just me, but everybody in the program, is the chance to succeed. They are with you every step, and whatever you need help with. I definitely don't know where I would be without Breakthrough.
They said it better than I did. A really awesome video, really awesome family. I have the fortune of working with them. But Breakthrough works with students from 6th grade, as young as 6th grade, all the way to their college graduation, or up to 6 years after high school graduation. And we have 4 different programs here within Central Texas. Central and South Austin, Northeast Austin, Manor, and as of last summer, Del Valley. Very comprehensive program. Our students are with us in the summer at a really awesome summer program, some of them here at UT. And we help them, whether it's going to their counselor, going with their counselor during the school year and saying, hey, I need help. This student needs that assignment that was handed out during yesterday when the student was absent. Or in high school, going to their counselor and saying, like, this student really needs social emotional support, they really need counseling, because if they're thinking about something really hard going on at home, they can't really concentrate on their education. 2, in college, make sure you fill out the FAFSA. Like Byron just said, if you haven't done the FAFSA, you gotta do it to get money. Okay, so my next discussion question is, so thinking about what Breakthrough does, all the, well, I like to say amazing things, I want you to, again, get in your groups and think about it. What do you think are the qualifications that we look for in people that we are hiring, or preferred degrees? Or even think about other educational nonprofits. So, 2 minutes. Only 1% that education is a background. Again, how many of you think that education is one of the backgrounds we look for? Awesome. What? Anybody else discuss something different in their group?
I can just talk.
Yeah.
We were talking about leadership and also social skills, and how, for example, like the development that we've had at ULN, it can prepare people from various degrees to like join a thing like Breakthrough.
Thank you. He said a background in leadership, right? That's what you
It's
said?
not a background, but like leadership development, like the kind of development we've had at ULN.
Oh, okay, yes. Anybody else?
Me and Robert had a supervisor who went down a master's degree in economics, and he's been using that to sort of analyze economic situation of a family to see how we can better suit to their needs or better mentor them because they have this possible struggle.
So looking at Breakthrough staff, year-long staff, we have 32 people who are full-time Breakthrough staff, and we have 14 year-round AmeriCorps members, which I am one. So we break up into 3 different teams. We have our program team, which does most of the work with the students, planning events, going on school visits, things like that. Then we have our development team, which their main job is helping develop the organization by going with grants, going and writing grants, maintaining our donors, our individual donors, as well as our corporate donors, because we have a few of those. And then we also have our operations team, which does a lot of the behind-the-scenes work, more of making sure everything in the organization is running very smoothly. In addition to that, we have 152 teaching fellows